our favorite room, the tight end room. And so yesterday, I get a DM when everyone's waiting. Everyone keeps updating their Twitter account.
Yep.
I get a DM from their reliable source that says, "Hey, Jake Briningstool's making the team," and I'm like, "Whoa, what?" And I'm like, "What?" And immediately my mind starts wondering, like, "Wait, what does that mean? What's that mean for Tonyan? What's that mean for Wiley?" And also tells you how much they like Briningstool because we barely saw him. He had the hamstring injury pretty much throughout training camp and whatnot, and they obviously saw enough to be like, you know what? If this kid goes to waivers, we're not getting him back. That's that tells me. So I get that message. I'm like, okay, all right. So, and this reliable source. So I tweet that. Some people are like, oh, you're not an insider. Why are you tweeting stuff? I'm like, okay, well, I don't. I mean, I don't normally tweet stuff. I don't consider myself an insider whatsoever. Right, but you know, we have some contacts who are close to the team, you know, naturally. So like, we get this, and it's like, okay, well, Briningstool makes the team, but then the list comes out, and it's like, oh, Chiefs are keeping Kelce, Gray, Wiley, Briningstool is on the team, but he's going to IR. And from what I've been told, he'll be back within 4 weeks. And the big shock was Big Bob, Robert Tonyan, did not make the team initially. That today he was on the practice field. And it's seeming he was added to the practice squad, and he'll probably be elevated to the active roster once Rashee Rice is officially on the suspension list. But JD, you were a big Briningstool fan before we got him, and you were like, oh, he'll be on the practice squad for us when you made your list the other day. But how surprised were you to see the Chiefs were that into a guy who we barely saw throughout training camp, that they put him on the roster and put him on an IR right away just to keep him away from other teams? And then also Tonyan still being back on the team as well. Just talk to us about how you feel about this crazy 5 tight ends tight end room.
No, I mean, come on, man. Look, as a tight end, you know, I've been singing their praises all day as far as like the type of talent we have there. And it was always like one of those things like, what are you going to do? Briningstool gets hurt during camp. But I spoke to Tom, and me and Tom both were sitting there scratching our heads like, hey, man, how did this guy go undrafted? He's like, man, Jason, I don't know. He was like one of my top guys. I said, man, I put him on a list. I went to another podcast when I was talking about it. I said, Briningstool was one of my top 5 tight ends. Actually, it was like 2, of course, everybody knew that was going to get drafted. But Briningstool was right there. Like he should have been at least number 6 or 7 tight end taken. No doubt about it as far as like with his athletic ability, what he was able to do at Clemson. And so you've seen that also during camp until he got slowed down with the injury, right? I seen him on the sideline like, God, what's going on with him? But the Chiefs, they knew what they had in him. I think Briningstool is a guy that you give him time to develop. He's going to be a baller. He's going to be a baller. This is a no-brainer for them to have Briningstool. None whatsoever. Like I said, because of the things he did in college, but also what they saw, Marcus, you can see greatness in guys that you just don't want to be able to let go. So this is good for him. It's good for the Chiefs. Then going to, Robert Tonyan. Robert Tonyan, like I said before, he's been there before. This is one of the greatest moves I feel like the Chiefs needed to do, or how they was going to be able to keep him, because he's just a too talented guy just to release. And all preseason, all he did was produce, caught balls, got open, jumped, leaping over guys. Robert Tonyan is back in form. That's what he's doing. And why not come here in a spot that I call the best tight end room in the business? Because it is. Me and Tom both said that. I was like, man, there's hands down, nobody else. And so when you're sitting over there with a Travis Kelce and Noah Gray, Jared Wiley, Robert Tonyan, and Jake Briningstool, who's learning all these things from all these guys, this just has experience. You just setting yourself up for great tight end play in the future as well. So we don't quite know what's going to happen with Travis Kelce. I think if he wins, they win this. Not if. When they win this one, Travis, he's going to get married and ride off into the sunset. That's what you do. Go out on your shield. Go out on your shield. When he made a statement about, I can't go out like that, that's what he meant. I think if he won this one, that might have been the last one. I think that was really on the back of his mind. But he didn't want to tell anybody that. And he got embarrassed. The team got embarrassed. And he couldn't let that slide. I knew who he is. So what did he do? He went back to work. he got himself into shape. You start building himself into becoming the guy that he wants to be, and he has been over this time, as being one of the most dominant tight ends in the game ever. That's what he was doing. And so this is a great example for the young guys to see, especially a Jake Briningstool and a Jared Wiley. But now a Robert Tonyan, who could be that guy that moves into the room. And I said this, Marcus, I keep saying it. Robert Tonyan is a starting tight end anywhere else. If he hadn't gotten hurt, Robert Tonyan would have been right up there in the conversation with, who do you want to use? Kind of in that sense, like Laporta or my guy from Pittsburgh, Freiermuth, any of those guys. He was just that good, and he was coming along. He was, and then injuries derailed him, and just like Briningstool too. So it's going to be steps for guys, but I love this move by the Chiefs.
So now when you look at the room, right, we were talking about potentially Kelce, Gray, Wiley, Briningstool, and Tonyan. When Briningstool's off IR, Tonyan potentially gets moved into the active roster. I mean, do you think there's a chance we could actually see them dressing 5 tight ends? That's you say it's the most talented tight end room, but then you got 5 dudes. It's like, man, like how do you play this? Even 4 is debatable.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, you only got one football. You do. And so it's going to be tight as far as reps, what you're going to be able to do. Now, they could get creative. I don't know if you dress 5. You could definitely probably do 4, and those 2 guys are going to have to play special teams, like significant amount of special teams. And they're going to be able to give something. But I think it's why they brought like all those linebackers back too. And I was kind of, we'll get into that. But still, with that being said, I don't think you dress 5 tight ends, or is that what you were saying, that dressing 5? Or not?
Yeah, I was saying there's going to be a certain point where Briningstool's off IR, and then when Tonyan is, if they do bring Tonyan to the active roster, I mean, they're going to have it's going to be very interesting to see what they do, because they obviously love Briningstool enough to keep him on the roster. They put him on the IR, and so then when he's off of IR, which I'm told his hamstring injury is not serious. I mean, he'll be back within 4 weeks. What I've been told. So then, like, what happens in that when that 4 weeks comes? I guess is my question. And when you have Tonyan, when you have Wiley, when you have Kelce and Gray, I mean, what happens at that point? It's a luxury to have that many talented tight ends, but what happens?
But you can move Briningstool to practice squad. You don't have to have him. You know what I mean?
Can he be claimed by another team once he goes to your team's practice squad?
He could, but that's you got shoot. That's the chance you got to take. It's the chance you got to take. So hopefully, what you do is you kind of keep him just like, okay, he's in our you kind of be quiet about everything. Let him, hey man, you take it slow. We don't need for you to get back now, but when he does, we'll just have to see. Because you got to realize also too, and here's the point of it, is there's a lot of people that got released yesterday. There's a lot of names that I saw looking over the list. I'm like, daggone, that dude, really? I'm like, we might need to go ahead and knock on his door. I've seen a few names like that. So you just play the game because you don't know. But, if you got him on IR down, he's kind of in the system. He makes the decision if he wants to go somewhere, then that's on him.
So when a team approaches a person that's in a practice squad, they have the chance to say no. I think they do.
I think they can say like, no, I want to stay here. I think yeah. But everybody wants to play. If a guy's getting thrusted into play and he's going to make more money, if I get to be the guy, then I want to go be the guy.
Right.
That's why it's like, kind of a rare thing. But if you're happy, sure, why not? I mean, the money's different for one. 2, you get a chance and opportunity to play. Everybody wants to play. Everybody wants to make more money. So you want to be an integral part of what you do, any team. So,
yeah. But hey, I mean, it's like what you said. It's one of the best talented tight end rooms in the league, and we're talking about 5. We're talking about 5 guys, and Trey Watson's even solid. And you said you noticed he was doing well when you went to training camp as well. I mean, they have 6 talented tight ends from practice squad and on the active roster. So man, they got it is tight end university in Kansas City. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Easier to move Briningstool to practice squad later in the year than the 53. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah.
Well said, Cal. Absolutely.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.